Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael, aka Rickshaw, and welcome to Worship and Tribute Nerd. Today we've got the Scary Movie Club on, and we're doing another versus video. That's when I add the sound effect. It's gonna be like. Anyway, but today we're gonna start different. We're gonna find out what's been going on with everybody. You know, what kind of spooky activities have you guys been wrapped up in? Anyone?
Are we getting personal?
Yeah,
nice.
Let's do it.
A lot of studying for this. I watched
Lots of horror movies.
Yeah.
I went to a haunted house the other day. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
I went to one.
Yeah.
I went to one.
Yeah.
It was not that cool, but I went to one.
We're at in
Ardmore, Oklahoma, America.
Right.
United States.
I went to one and it was like next to Fort Worth, kind of. It was pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good. Good time.
What was the name of yours?
I can't remember at this point in time.
Mine was called. Mine was Dead Acres.
Oh,
it was outdoor. It was actually kind of neat. But
nice.
Yeah.
We went to Moxbury Manor. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet. It was like in an old.
Yeah, it sounds like a real fucking blast.
Hey, I'm glad you're. Yeah. Since my suspension was lifted, I'm glad to see you again, Mikey.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways, you know, like me and Rabbit are the half Asian token members of the group, but this is the angry white metal dude and strong.
You got some drywall you can punch real quick?
And he's the blonde guy.
I'm the blonde guy. I'm the blonde guy.
There's always one blonde guy every time.
I'm the Chad of the group.
Anyways, everybody introduce yourselves.
I'm Richard, a.k.a. Rabbit.
Mikey, whatever.
Chase, a.k.a. Mikey.
I
got you, bro.
Look, you stole your name, son. Everybody's going to be like, that Mikey
Fuck
guy.
this!
That Mikey guy's cool. Which Mikey? The blonde one. And then you're going to be upset about that.
Yeah, so there's something else you can be mad about later.
The one with the beard.
The incredible milk. He turns angry and white when he's mad. That's you. All right, anyways, to the verse episode. This week we have Mike Myers versus Jason versus Leatherface, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre versus Friday the 13th versus Halloween.
Battle Royale.
The best. Triple fucking threat.
It is definitely the cage match or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, but the thing is, if it was a cage match and there was there had to be one guy to survive,
Right.
it's already over.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
No,
already
we haven't
over.
even
I don't know
started
what you're
yet.
going to say, but I'm just going to disagree.
No, dude.
All right.
Okay, so
Well,
the WWE, their ratings are low. Vince McMahon's like, we got to do something to get this thing popping.
Right.
So what does he do? He gathers up the biggest, baddest dudes from across the land,
Right.
puts them in a cage, see what happens.
Right.
Ratings shoot through the roof.
Through the roof. And they're going to be like, Jason Voorhees, you saved wrestling.
From Illinois, New Jersey, and Texas. Here
Tejas.
they are.
From the deep south, Leatherface. And he's like putting on lipstick.
I don't think he even does that. He's just like, oh!
I mean,
Right.
Mike Myers definitely has the best ring entrance music.
Oh, for sure.
That's probably true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Score. Okay, let's video in. Best score. Halloween. Done. So,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
definitely.
true, yeah.
But
Bye, guys.
But let's talk about Friday the 13th. Also very memorable.
Hey, dude, Harry Manfredini killed it, and he's done it
Yeah.
through I think it's honestly 11, but I want to say just exaggerate and say 20 something projects.
Yeah.
He did the game. He did everything.
So what kind of theme music does Leatherface have in this scenario?
They use
just-
in the original, they used animal sounds. They didn't use any music. Mm-hmm. So it's all like edited animal noises
Right.
and shit.
in a weird
That's why
attitude.
especially the first one is extremely creepy.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
for
there's
sure.
no music at all. It's just
It's-
animal
yeah.
noises.
And the
That's
weird
pretty cool.
out-of-tune cello or whatever that. It's not. It's supposed to be mimic a camera sound, but it's not.
Oh yeah,
That weird.
Oh, the remake. Yeah.
The camera flash.
That was actually in an old metal band album. They used that, but
Yeah.
Remember
who was
never.
it? Remembering Never? Yeah, it
their
was.
first
It
record,
was.
Yeah, or not their
Yeah,
first record.
That was heavy.
And in Friday the 13th, they only used music when Jason was
Right.
around.
Right.
Okay.
They every time the rest of the time it's like no music
It's
and
like-
it's super quiet.
You hear
and
like
it's just
crickets
dialogue.
crickets and
Yeah.
locusts in the back. Yeah.
Honestly, though, Leatherface would be a little bit scarier if there was country music whenever he came around.
Just
like,
a
he was
banjo?
like, it's like, ba-doom, boom, boom, and then he's like, and then,
I just hear like the banjo from Deliverance, like.
oh yeah,
If you could combine Texas Chainsaw and Deliverance together, I think that would be
Right.
that'd be the best movie
I
ever
think
made.
maybe they.
Pretty much the same movie.
I think when they were designing, the Texas Chainsaw guy, they just were like, I watched Goonies the other day. Sloth is pretty creepy, actually, if you think about it. Put a mask on him, dude.
I don't think that math adds up, bud.
Meth?
Math.
Texas Chainsaw was way before Goonies.
Way
so, yeah.
before.
It's true.
I knew that.
Like a whole decade,
Right.
if not more.
Okay.
I
Texas
know.
Chainsaw was 79.
Totally knew that.
Yeah.
Well, then I
But
guess
yeah,
they just
yeah,
took the
yeah,
mask
yeah.
off of him, and they're like, go do Goonies, damn
Yeah.
it. Does that work? Is that better?
No, you're dumb.
Hey.
I don't know shit about no scary movie like you do, man. You know all the infos. All right, anyways, to this match.
Yes, here we go.
To this matchup, okay.
Are you ready to
let's-
rumble?
Let's. Who wants to go first on telling the folks what each one is?
I can do Friday.
Do it. Go.
All right, Friday the 13th. Jason Voorhees, small child. Mother is a cook at the Camp Crystal Lake. And, while the counselors are out banging, smoking tweez, and having good times.
Jazz cigarettes.
Yeah,
They're always smoking them tweeds.
Electric lettuce. you
Always
know?
up to no good. Tell you that much.
So Jason decides, he's got a abnormal shaped head, and and
Way to skirt around it. I like it.
things are wrong, and so he's like, I'm gonna take a dip.
He's
and the
fucking mentally handicapped.
There you go. So he's that, and he is that, and so he decides to take a dip, and unfortunately for Jason, he can't swim.
Right.
So he
And the
is-
camp counselors were too busy
They're-
smooching with your brother.
They were porking. they were porking.
Right,
So
Fornicating.
They were fornicating.
Fucking.
And Jason doesn't do well. So his mother, comes
Drowns
back
like a dumbass.
comes back for revenge, and she handles business in part one up until like the last 5 or 6 minutes, and Jason returns.
Spoiler
Jason
alert.
comes
Poor,
back.
spoiler alert: Jason never dies. My theory: I want to live in the world where Jason barely made it out.
Yeah.
And then that whole lore or mythology around his father rescues him and takes care of him in the woods. He builds a weird shack, and he makes it until part 2, and he's a grown man wielding a pickaxe with a pillowcase for a mask because he's got
Right.
that,
yeah.
He didn't
that-
find the mask
that
until
weird
3.
head that I mentioned.
He
has
got
to
this.
cover
He
that.
got the hockey mask in 3.
Yeah, he got the hockey mask in 3. It's funny that it's like the biggest association.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
like
movie,
3 movies
and
in
it
it.
wasn't even.
Yeah, and it was a
Yeah.
dude. It was a
Because
nerdy
he wasn't
guy.
in the first one pretty much at all.
No,
No, and then in the second one, he had a big bag over his head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was kind of a bitch in the second one.
Get into that. Hey,
All
we
right,
can get into
okay.
that.
we'll do that
Let's-
later. But that's Jason in a nutshell.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
A nutshell. But he, like I said, he drowns and
He-
comes back later
Right.
to take his aggressions out on horny camp counselors.
Yeah.
And okay, so next,
I'll do Halloween.
go ahead.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mike Myers as a small child. Well, he was like 6 years old, I think. He kills his older sister. She was babysitting him. They were home alone. Then he goes to a mental institution for about 15 years and then escapes during, they were transporting him. And that's on...
Till as old as time.
yeah.
Coming of age.
The day before, on Halloween night, basically, he comes back to his hometown, Haddonfield, Illinois, to kill the rest of his family, which is Laurie Strode and
Right.
the main
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah,
Can I
her
throw
character.
one thing in there?
Yeah.
Is it canon that she is his sister?
I believe so.
Because part 2, Halloween 2, that one John Carpenter did, he was doing a lot of cocaine and drinking lots of beers. And I know they threw that in the second one. You might be the baby. I'm sorry. You might be the baby sister of Michael.
Of Michael Myers, yeah.
Motherfucker.
But I thought they kind of, maybe it's something we can get into later, but I thought they kind of raised
I always
that
assumed
straight.
that she was his sister, but I think she's definitely a family member.
It's like
Because
Right.
that's who
I assumed it was
he
sister,
comes back
yeah.
for his family members. Because in the later ones, he comes back for his cousin,
Right,
or
right. The
girl.
niece.
His niece. Yeah,
Right.
Right, come back for his dog.
yeah. I'm gonna get all you motherfuckers. You got a
Your
gerbil.
cousin.
I'm gonna squash it.
Yeah.
So yes, and then he becomes the shape, and just wreaks havoc
Right.
every Halloween.
And Texas
and so
Chainsaw
forth.
Massacre. What is that?
What is that, Mikey?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is about a cannibal family that lives in Texas and a group of stupid fucking hippies go down there.
Hard on the hippies.
Fucking dirty hippies.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
So what are they doing? They're just trying to start a band or something.
No,
right?
I think the reasoning they go down there is because like they go to visit the grave of like somebody's grandfather or some shit. It was always unclear to me what
Yeah,
the
it
fuck
was
they're
their
doing.
grandfather's gravesite.
And then I guess decide to just fucking hang out. And they pick up a hitchhiker and then there's all that stuff.
Anyways,
there's that guy with it. He's like, I got pictures.
And
I got pictures.
So they end up coming into contact with the house.
Yeah,
right?
they go to the
meet-
house
Yeah.
that they
house
stay at.
where-
They basically
and
get
then
lost
Leatherface
in Texas. Like
slowly just
I mean, I'm
one by one
I'm
kills
pretty
them.
sure he kills them pretty quick. Like once they get there, because they're just kind of like,
Oh yeah, it
they're
does
like,
take
"Hey,
off
what-
pretty quick.
what was
Like,
here?" And then he's like, meat hook, slam the door.
well, hold
Shit-
on a minute.
shit
You're getting
builds up
it
quick.
backwards. He bashes that one dude in the dome with that hammer, which is pretty fucking rad.
Right in the original, where he's like, he slides the fucking door.
Yeah. Boom.
then it's
Well, no,
done.
he hits him first, drags his body in,
Yeah.
then slams the door.
Right.
He's
And
probably
then the bitch comes looking for him.
he's probably mad about that sliding door. Like I've had a couple bad sliding doors. I've lived in. I wanted to kill people after that.
Catch. They have a weird catch. They have a weird catch.
Gotta put
Always
some
snagged, always
WD-40 on
yeah.
that.
a
Makes
real
it
squeaky. Yeah.
On the subject of
It's
Texas
frustrating,
Chainsaw, it's
infuriating.
funny how it's got this reputation for being so fucking brutal and like gory, and there's really not
No.
almost no gore in it at all.
Right.
Yeah,
You
like
see a little bit of blood splatter here and there, like when he hits him in the head, and then like when he's cutting up the dude in front of the chick that's hanging on the meat hook.
That was intentional.
yeah.
So, like-
There's not much.
They
Yeah,
edited
there's
no,
no
they
blood
edited
in it at
out.
all.
They edited out to save from getting like an R rating,
But it's
Right.
still like
and
Well, it was
it-
like an X. It was X rated.
X rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it actually ends up making the movie more creepy.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's not. It's everything is left up to you or the audience. This movie was banned in so many countries and everything, and it really wasn't. It's like I mean, Halloween, even the original Halloween wasn't. I mean, it wasn't super bad, but it was like way more.
I think
Like
the tone,
way more graphic than the Texas Chainsaw.
the tone of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is what made it so.
Well, it looked like a snuff
eerie.
film. It looked
Yeah.
super documentary style, and it was just
I think that's why it
yeah,
Yeah.
gets that reputation because it looks real,
It looks real,
even without
right?
all the fucking blood and
like
shit.
Cannibal
right.
Holocaust or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Marilyn Manson. Like everyone was like, "Oh my God, he promotes murder and death." And then the first time I listened to it, I was like, "This isn't that heavy. It's just kind of like rock and roll, man."
right. And, like, he promotes murder and death, but his first big song is actually a cover. So it's like
Right. Wait, we're trailing.
we are.
I was watching Texas Chainsaw yesterday, I gotta be honest. There at one point I finally was just like, there was so much screaming. I was just like, audibly out loud went, "Fucking kill the bitch already!"
It,
God,
it,
just
it-
to shut her the fuck up.
yeah. To me, it was unnerving though. It's like
Yeah, dude, it's super disturbing.
I just got annoyed, honestly.
yeah, it, like
I just was
the
like,
first one is
her up already.
unintentionally like unnerving, and then you get
There's
to
a lot of bat
and then
shit,
you watch
too.
and then you watch the second one,
Oh my god, it's great.
and it's so fucking campy
Yeah,
and ridiculous.
That's the one I started watching on my phone, but it was just like I needed to text and like
Yeah.
all this stuff because my internet was down earlier or whatever. But I wanted to watch 2. Everybody tells me 2 is like
I've always heard that too. I always heard like 2 is the best one, and I disagree.
I disagree too,
I
but 2 is the
wholeheartedly
more.
disagree.
I would
Yeah,
say
I
if you
mean-
want to have a good time with a movie,
yeah, it's
I mean,
a good
it's
time.
the-
It's a
Yeah.
fun time.
It's like the old
it's-
Batman. That's like
Yeah.
everybody says you got to watch it, but it's
Right.
like a different vibe.
it's a good time.
Right.
2 is like a
2 is
fun
fun.
time, campy
Yeah.
slasher film.
It's
Right.
weird how they
It
win that direction.
has-
It was the same dudes, like Toby Hooper and everybody came
It's
back.
nothing.
It's like Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Like those
Yeah,
comparatively.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also like most of these horror movies. Like I noticed it with all 3. The second one is usually just a direct remake of the first one, and it's usually with just a better
Better
budget.
budget, yeah.
better
Yeah,
budget.
yeah.
better budget. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That happens a lot. Like Evil
These-
Dead.
yeah.
Evil
Yeah,
Dead
Evil
2.
Dead
Evil Dead was the same.
Perfect
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 is
example
a
of that.
best example.
It was.
Yeah.
It's almost like they did it on purpose. Like all these, they all just remade the same movie.
They were like,
With
oh,
a
people
better
actually
budget.
liked it.
Almost
Now we
all
have
of them.
money.
But
Almost all
like,
of them.
well, I mean, I would say like Halloween 2 and Friday the 13th 2, I thought were pretty different takes. Other than
They're-
I get what you're saying.
No,
I get
Friday
what you're
the
saying.
13th
About,
is a direct.
it
remake
is
of the
but
first
with
one.
Jason. It's like
But
I'm gonna do the
they
same
wanted to
shit,
introduce
but
Jason,
with
yeah.
They do actually. Friday the 13th. They do it in all of them. They remake. The endings are all the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
It's
I
like-
agree. I agree.
I mean,
they
they
get
change up.
creative
They change up the
sometimes.
deaths and stuff, but it's like
Like, remember when they
basically just-
finally had to get this chain? And
Remember?
Like,
Yeah.
And then like make sure that the chain locks around his neck in Crystal Lake, and then he sinks to the bottom. That was like the one time where it was like they did something different.
yeah. That may have been one of the later ones. I didn't get that deep.
Oh, that's Jason.
I stopped after 3 because
Takes
I was like,
Manhattan.
6. That's no. The that's part 6.
there's like
Jason
there's like
Lives.
50. There's like 50 of them. And I was like,
50.
after I watched 1, 2, and 3 back to back, and it was just like the same movie back to back to back, except for
Right.
the exception of the first one where it's his mom, not
Right.
Jason. But there's the same movie back to back to back, and I was like, I'm not watching any more of these. I'm
Dude, you
done.
gotta watch-
I'm sorry, I don't care.
Dude,
have to
but you-
I'm
watch
so over it.
Part 6.
I
Jason
understand
Lives.
that there's like a first gen Jason and then a second gen Jason.
right.
But,
okay, so listen.
I just
You
can't
were
do
gonna
it
say
anymore.
Jason Lives.
Jason Lives.
Jason Lives. That's like when they like kind of redo it.
They
to where
reanimate.
It's different.
Yes.
All right,
It's-
all right.
it's-
And then also one of my favorites was Jason Takes Manhattan.
oh man,
That movie is fucking
I
badass.
saw that one. Yeah.
You did?
No,
see
I
that
didn't
one?
see that.
That's whenever
saw
they
that one,
like.
yeah.
That's whenever it's like 90s, and they're like, we have a budget, and we've watched all these campy movies come out. So
It's
then
like more like Predator 2.
kind of because he ends up in the city
he's not-
and he
yeah.
fucking murders a bunch of people in the city. And one of the best parts is like this dude is like a boxer, and he's like, all right, Jason, fuck it, let's do it. And he's like, bah, 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 bah. And he's like giving him the old 1-2, and he's like, bah, bah. And like Jason's kind of like backing up, like, oh, you're doing damage or whatever. And then he's like, bah,
Health bar going down.
Yeah.
and he's
I
like,
did.
and then he's like still beating him down, and then the dude's like knuckles are all busted up. He's like, ugh. And then Jason's just like grabs him and punches his fucking head off.
yeah,
I
knocks
was
his
like,
fucking whole head off. He's all like just fatigued from the whole match. He's like,
yeah,
take your best shot, and Jason's like, blip, and it just flips through the air.
Yeah.
Flips through the air. It's the best scene
So-
ever.
All right.
it's one of those like self-aware. We know we've done
Rabbit,
these movies forever.
I will say I grew up on Friday the 13th. It's one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
I know it has its flaws. After part 5, like it just
They start
it's
revamping
so
it to where-
funny
All right,
good.
well, I'm gonna
So
start
funny
there.
good.
Yeah.
So
I'm
funny
gonna
good.
start there,
Like
'cause-
part 5, I don't recommend
Well, wasn't
anybody
it
to watch
Corey
it, so-
Feldman? Corey Feldman was in like
4,
yeah. That's when they start kind of
1 through 4, and then just skip part 5, and then go into 6, 7, 8.
I'm
I mean, it
skipping
gets-
4 and 5. I don't give a fuck.
No, dude,
No,
hey,
4 is
4's
like-
the best. 4's probably the best.
Is it? Oh, okay.
4's probably the best.
Well, I shouldn't have.
Like you stopped a little too soon. You stopped a little too soon.
Whatever.
I
I'm
just
like
watched
I'm a
one
Michael
of each
Myers
'cause
guy
I just
anyway,
don't
so fuck it.
fucking care. I'm not
do.
I'm
You
not a
should,
slasher
though.
You
guy.
should care. This is history.
Yeah, this. I mean, you
This
know,
is history.
you know, you have love for Jason. Yeah, it
Somewhere.
is a little repetitive and whatever.
No, see, I was
but-
a Freddy guy.
Well, I was too,
Freddy's
but I
my
still
franchise.
love. Okay, the one thing I remember from my childhood that really got me into Jason movies, honestly, is on USA. I think it was
Up all night.
They were having a Jason marathon, and they did it all weekend.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, they're showing all of them, right? Then one of my buddies had a Mad magazine, and it was a Jason special, right? It was like Jason anniversary issue. And they just like did all these random facts about Friday the 13th movies. And they also had a kill list of every movie, every person that died, the way that they died, and all this shit. And like, so me and my buddy would like go through it and be like, oh, I don't remember this kill.
Yeah.
And like, there's one where it says severed head. And then we were like, that's it? That's all it says about it? Severed head? And we're like, I don't remember that. And we just watched this one the other day. And then, so then the next time through on this like marathon, we'd watch that one and be like, and then we realize it's like the opening scene of a movie and someone opens like a fridge and there's a severed head and then there's the severed head. I'm stupid. Or there was one that was like beaten against a tree with a sleeping bag. And that was one of them that was like, yes, he's straight. Jason just fucking takes this bitch in the sleeping bag and beats her against the tree until she's dead. Yeah, so that really got me in. Just seeing like the kill list and how they are all killed.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
I watched a video of all of Michael Myers' kills from start to finish.
Oh,
every
really?
one?
Yeah, every one. There's like 128 or something like that.
Wow.
There is some pretty brutal ones with
Michael Myers has the best kills.
Yeah.
He's
Like
my
what?
He's my favorite. Well, he has, okay, first of all, he has like a trademark kill, which is my favorite.
Which one's
His
that?
trademark kill is he lifts somebody up against a wall and he fucking pegs him to the wall with his knife. He does it in like almost every movie. And then he sits there and he watches them. And he like watches the soul leave their body. He tilts his head a little bit.
He does the head tilt. Yeah.
Just watches them die. It's the creepiest fucking thing ever.
That is pretty
like,
cool.
I know Jason's cool and all, but Michael Myers is creep factor 100. Scares the shit out of me.
I think that
He's still my favorite.
Everyone in this list has like very unique things about them, though. Like for instance, like with the Mike Myers versus Jason, like one of the things Jason had also though that I loved seeing in each movie, like movie to movie, is like how battle damaged his mask gets.
Yeah.
Or like when the mask finally gets knocked off, how gruesome he could look underneath the mask.
Yeah.
And then, later on with the Halloween movies, they start doing that too with the mask being like battle damaged or like the same like
They
cuts
carry
and
over
stuff
to
would
other
carry
movies,
over and stuff.
Well, see, and that was weird because I knew, leading up to this, I was like, I know we're doing these three guys.
Right.
So the only way I knew how to break it down was like RPG style. Like I thought about like, well, what would RPG? So I broke it down by like strength, agility, and intelligence.
Yeah.
And that's how I was like, because like honestly, dude, these are my favorite three franchises out of anybody we've done. So I was like, man, how like I don't want to. I mean, I love Jason. Like Jason is what I grew up on. That's like the first thing I was like super like, oh my god, I love these. I love horror movies now.
Yeah.
So like, but Jason is in like, I don't know. He's like, I get it. It's super repetitive and all this stuff. But I was like,
well, Halloween's repetitive too. But I think that as the movies go, like Halloween has a creepiness. I don't know what else. I don't have another descriptive word to say. It like has this creepiness to it. And like he's so methodical. Like if you want to go, like he's the most intelligent of all the three.
Look here,
by far.
That's what
you got your notes. Like let's go through it. Let's go through it. I'm into this.
Intelligence goes 100% Michael Myers.
Yeah, by far.
He's super stealthy.
He's methodical.
He can drive a car.
He's a serial killer.
Who other slasher villains drives cars around and just stalks people? So like I was like,
he'll like bait people. He'll set traps. Like he'll put a person in a car. He'll trap them there, and another person will come like, let me help you out of the car, and then he'll fucking kill that person.
Well, see,
like he sets people traps.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I 100% agree with that, and that's where like I was like, okay, intelligence, it has to go to Myers, has to. He's got it. He's super stealthy.
And Leatherface is the dumbest of the three.
Thank you. I was watching.
Very low.
I was
He's
watching,
actually like.
I was watching H2 last night. H2
yeah.
last night when like he kills the neighbors, the Elrods, when he's like sneaks in there, the chick with the curlers. So I was like, and then like the neighbor walks out, and she's like a teenager. She's like, Mr. Elrod or whatever. And then he's just boom, just evasive. So he's stealthy, he's intelligent. There's Myers. Brute strength. Leatherface all the way. He's not gonna, he's running around with a chainsaw.
He's real dumb. He's just gonna kill you.
He's got that strength. That Mikey was talking about earlier. that certain
handicap
kind
strength.
That certain kind of strength
It's
that Mikey was talking
handy-capable.
about. Yes. So
He's handy capable.
Right.
But
He's very strong.
I couldn't
Yes.
think of another thing, but like agility. I look at agility and I was like, Jason's not super like fast. He does run. I try to keep it in a human component. 2 through 4, he's running around. He's agile. But you mentioned traps. Jason has always had that cunning ability to where no matter where you are or where the victim is, he is there.
He'll be there.
And he has traps. He has. I mean, there's just. So that's kind of where I was with it. Is like.
That's good. I like that a lot.
I feel like Jason also though he's pretty good with the improvised killing. Like whatever,
Right.
He's like stage fatality guy. You know what I mean? If there's a tree, he's gonna beat you up against it, or if there's a car, he'll lift up the car and smash your face with it or
Right.
something. Like
He will box your head off. With
right,
his shoulders,
right. So let's get to some. We're not talking about Leatherface that much.
We aren't.
What's up with Leatherface, man?
Leatherface, okay, he's a giant baby.
He is.
Basically, he's
Yeah.
a child.
Yeah.
He's a child. He has the mentality of like a 3-year-old. Basically,
Never
He's a-
heard it put better. A giant baby.
He's a giant baby. He's a child in a giant man's body. And to be real honest, I think he only kills people because he's scared.
Maybe.
Right.
I think he's scared of his family.
That's the thing. It's like I think his family wants him to kill
So, like-
more than he wants to
Yeah,
kill.
he's like they're like he.
I've
Especially
never thought about this,
his
guys.
brother.
You're getting crazy over
his
here.
his brother's like, go get that bitch.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
go get her.
And
And
when-
he's like, okay, I'm fucking, I got it. Because
You done good, boy.
In in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, that's where he's like, go get that bitch, and then he
Yeah.
goes, and she's like, wait, and he's like, what? she's like, no, and then she kind of like shows
What was
it.
her name? Was it? It was not Stretch.
Stretch. Yeah.
Stretch. I was like, well, it's not
I
Snatch,
mean,
is it?
she's got. Well, it might as well have been Snatch because she's like showing off her like
Yeah, dude,
spreading her legs. She's like, wait. She's like, are you good? And he's
Yeah.
like, ooh.
But this
ooh.
fucking
And
chainsaw
he's like,
around her.
first time he's ever like, I don't
Seen a snatch.
know. Yeah. And I don't know. He almost he protects her throughout the
Yeah.
rest of the movie.
Uh-huh.
So he has a weakness.
Yeah.
Like he's not all bad. He's just like I think he's more scared than anything. That's my.
And about Leatherface, everybody gives him this certain look whenever whenever you think about him, whenever he's represented. But I like the one where he's like wearing the woman's face with the lipstick.
And no, he's wearing
I
like
think that's the
he's wearing like an
scary one.
apron.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
he has like a wooden spoon.
Right.
Because he wants to help cook.
Because the
Yeah.
the most common one is like that nasty farm looking
Yeah.
stitched together.
He's got
face.
3. He's got 3 costumes.
Really?
Yeah. He's got his like regular Leatherface mask. He's got the woman mask. The
pretty one.
And then he has the dress up mask.
Oh, he's in the tuxedo.
And where he's in like wears the tuxedo
and
to
it's got
dinner.
kinda curly hair or
Yeah, it's got the
whatever,
curly
yeah.
hair and all that shit.
It's pretty crazy.
And the thing about Leatherface too is like because I was trying
It's almost like 3 personalities of Leatherface.
Right.
coming into this, I was like, man, I want to keep it because when you get in so many sequels, canons all over the place, whatever. So it was like one of the prequels they did. I think it was the beginning. It was after the remake, and then but Arlie Ermey did it. He was still the dad. I don't know, but they were like, he his origin story. It was like he witnessed a lot of violence and murder and blah 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 as a child, and they sent him to an institution in which he broke out of, in which made him what he
Oh,
is.
so they
But
stole Michael Myers' background.
basically, but they said when Leatherface was a kid, he was like stolen as a baby, adopted into or like the Sawyer stole
Into the
him.
Sawyer family.
Yeah, into the Sawyer family. So it was like it was a weird kind of, the way because like his origin story is all very 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 convoluted. So I was trying to figure out why
Yeah.
Leatherface is the way
I really
he
like
is.
the one where they just kind of like, I think it was one of the more recent ones where they just like deleted every bit of continuity and
right.
started at part 2 again when they show up at the cop show.
I mean, the first one's just start to finish. You're in a van, and then it ends with chick leaving. And
Yeah,
Oh,
she
the chick
just
leaving.
runs
That's
away.
it.
The
yeah.
original version.
Nothing
original.
happens.
maybe
like-
it's that.
nothing
Okay,
happens.
so yeah, okay.
The
one
I
I'm
think you're thinking of the remake.
the one I remember, it's like a newer one. Is it shows the woman leaving, and then it shows the person that picks her up, and then the cops are like, "You came from this house,
Right.
And she's like, "Yes." And then the cops go there and fucking burn the place down, and then it picks
I don't know
up
what you're
later
talking
on.
about.
Is that the one where the chick gets the like weird brand? Like her necklace is so hot it brands her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like family.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I don't remember what that was
It's-
called. Like
it-
Leatherface 2 or
yeah,
something. I don't know.
it ends up being like, a distant relative gets like, she ends up inheriting the house,
That is Texas Chainsaw 3D. Is that the one where they're cousins?
Yeah.
And they find her at the grandma's
Yeah.
basement. Yeah.
Yeah,
3D, that's the 3D version.
anyway, she
The
inherits.
one that has Matthew McConaughey and Renee
No, that's
no.
the Next Generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it-
But she ends up inheriting this house.
Yeah.
And they were like, here is all the paperwork. It is very important you
That
read
you-
all this
yeah.
shit. And then she like doesn't read it, of course. And then like they realize there's someone in the basement, and then it gets out and starts murdering everyone. And then she realizes she's like, that's like a relation. And then she reads the note, and it's like, we've been keeping your cousin locked up.
Right.
You just have to take care of him and treat him good, or he'll start murdering everyone.
Well, and it was like the old the sheriff was like the sheriff presently. He's the present sheriff, but like back in the day, he was like a vigilante justice trying to after the Sawyer family. So
Right.
he's like, that movie was great, and spoiler alert again. Up until like I was like, man, they did a really good job. And then like the sheriff and one of his cronies or whatever, like they end up capturing Leatherface. He's hooked on. He's like chained up. He's getting drug into this like meat processing, a big giant meat grinder basically. And she's walking out. She's like, oh, I survived it. And she sees that enormous chainsaw, and she's like, do your thing, cuz. And I was like, okay. Okay. She throws him the chainsaw, and he
Right.
cuts his chains and ends up,
Right. It was one of
Leatherface
those
walks,
moments.
wins again. And I was like, man, you had to. Someone wrote a line that said, do your thing, cuz.
Do your thing,
And I was
cuz.
like, it's over. This is over. I don't even want to watch this movie anymore.
The movie company, after the first viewing, they're like, can we talk to you outside?
I was like, man, anyway, you got to rewrite,
Yeah.
No, it was it was pretty brutal.
Do you think, cuz?
He did his thing, though. He did his thing.
It turns out you're a distant relative of Michael Jackson, and he's still alive. That would be a scary movie if
That would be a
I've
scary
ever
movie.
fucking seen one. Turns out, we're writing that one.
Fun fact. Fun fact. I have the same birthday as Michael Jackson.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Wow.
It was a privilege for most of my life till very recently.
That's why Mikey doesn't like you. I figured it out. It's just it was solved.
Yeah, I was always proud of that fact for like,
It's like I'm the same
you know?
age as Michael.
yeah. And now, yeah.
Oh, anyways,
Moving on.
Did
Yeah.
anybody watch that HBO documentary?
that was a horror movie in its own.
Yes.
That was cool.
Good
Good job, guys.
So,
Hope
anyways,
you guys made money.
in a battle royale,
Here we go.
an all-out slugfest, who wins
Can we all
as
go,
characters?
Can we all go at the same time?
Can we all go at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
Jason.
Jason.
Michael Myers.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't. Why?
Because you're fucking boring. That's why.
Whatever, man.
Called out.
I initially thought Jason until I watched 2, and I was like,
Watch 2 what?
Friday the 13th
Oh,
Part 2
gotcha,
dudes.
gotcha. Why
And
is
I was
part
like,
two?
this kind of sucks. He's kind of a bitch.
He was
in
a
this.
bitch in part 2. You gotta watch it.
He
You
is-
gotta go up
yeah.
till at
He
least
is
4.
such a bitch.
But if we're talking about like,
You know who's
the
never a
later
bitch?
ones where he
Michael
becomes,
Myers.
like,
He's a stone cold
supernatural.
fucking killer since
Especially
he
in-
was 6.
in part 2. Yeah, for
I think
sure.
it just depends on which version of Jason you're getting. If you're getting the more supernatural version of Jason, then obviously Jason wins.
I try to keep it like human form. I tried. That's in my notes. I was like,
all
man,
human form, then I'm gonna have to give it to Mike Myers. Then
I'm still giving it to Jason.
I'm still giving it to Jason.
Because, dude, that motherfucker, I mean, you say you're keeping it human form, but remember whenever he was like skeleton and meat and
Part 7.
bones and like his mask was still on?
Like fucking
yeah. Yeah, like
Fucking-
by the end, he was like just a rotting fucking nasty. like-
telepathy couldn't defeat
I
Jason.
mean, he
in
let
part
that
Yeah.
one fucking preppy dude beat him up in Part 2 pretty hard.
A bunch of girls beat him up.
Part
too.
2 doesn't count.
All right, let's focus on hockey mask, Jason. Let's
Yeah.
go from hockey mask.
Yeah.
Hockey Mask is in 3, and he still gets beat up by a girl.
Yeah, but then he has that weird like, moment. Remember
And he gets an axe to the
he
face.
opens
All
the window and
been
he's got
beat
that
up by
weird
a
smile.
He
girl.
gets an
rabbit.
axe to the face.
Okay, and that's the thing too. He took an axe to the face, and he was like,
Yeah. I mean, he still lives, of course.
He's-
This is the
They-
one where he
they
has
all
the
still
dent
live.
up here.
That's when he got his first little
Michael Myers has been set on fire. He's been shot. He's been
6
run
times.
over.
I shot him 6 times.
They always come back. I just think that Michael. I think that Michael Myers is too smart. I think he will outsmart all three, both of the other ones.
But that's the thing is like even at his core, like I mean, I've all the Halloweens. I was like, when Michael Myers is supernatural, even the Curse of Thorn when he was like powered by some constellation. I did hear a new theory lately where he's like a cyborg made by the Shamrock from Part 3, Halloween 3. He's like he's powered by that, and I was like, well, that's the first time I heard that. But I mean, just going through Halloweens,
Theories, guys. Theories.
theory time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was like he was always at his core just a psycho. He was pure evil. Pure evil.
What, Michael or Jason?
Michael.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Loomis. He's like, he's just evil. He's just
He
an
is
evil
pure
person.
evil,
He's the
and
boogeyman.
he will not stop ever.
And I thought about this. I was like, damage resistance.
Okay, so we're thinking our motives, though. Like, so our motives are way more evil for Michael Myers because Jason only wants to kill people that were fucking and let him drown. So he's like really vengeful on the fuckers.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's more evil to like want to kill your family rather than be like, you guys fucking, I kill everybody that fucking has sex on my property. Crystal Lake, get off my property, Crystal Lake.
Get off my property.
But also, can we talk about this? This is a very interesting point. You know, Jason and Mike Myers look like they were in the original lineup of Slipknot. Okay.
Hell yeah.
As to where Leatherface looks like a newer member of Slipknot. You know what I mean?
I
Because
feel
they got
that.
the custom outfits and
So,
everything.
Who's better?
Well, of course, the original
OG.
members.
OG.
OG. Yeah.
Okay.
They just had the jumpsuits
Yeah.
with the.
So we can agree that Leatherface is out.
Right. Yeah. Leatherface is definitely not. He
So
would just.
he's out first.
Yeah. He'd probably die. I mean, he would probably put up a good fight
Yeah.
and it'd be pretty entertaining.
I mean,
I'd watch
he
it.
can be very scary when he's like
Provoked.
provoked.
I
Yeah.
mean, my favorite slasher icon, horror icon ever is Jason Voorhees, and this was still very, very, very difficult for me.
I don't know.
love
I don't know. Maybe Leatherface is a sleeper. Maybe he's
Well, the thing about Leatherface is like,
maybe he just gets
they all have like
freaked out and just goes buck wild on both.
And I was trying like I'm gonna play this like an
I don't
RPG. So I was like, who has the most damage resistance? So I'm like, you know, in the first Texas Chainsaw, I was like Leatherface, like he falls, he cuts his leg,
Yeah.
and then he just disco dances around for a while in the sunset. It's the best shot ever. But like Dr. Loomis, like he says, I shot him 6 times. Michael Myers shot 6 times, falls off balcony. He
just
up
walks
the
away.
next day
He walks away.
after
Yeah.
escaping a mental
Right.
institution. So he's got some kind of Wolverine abilities.
Just walks
Something.
away. He can
You know.
non-stop,
I mean, Jason takes an axe to the
unrelenting.
face.
Yeah.
And he's
I will
he's
say
going.
this though, like the most brutal. I
Yeah,
remember
but
of
you
all,
throw him in some water and he's a little bit.
That's only from Freddy vs. Jason, and I don't want to do that.
Was coming,
We're skipping Freddy vs. Jason. We're gonna skip that. That's only one person's idea. He's been fine in water.
Also, Jason does have another weakness.
What's that?
He's got mommy issues.
His mom issues.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He's got mommy issues.
Right.
That's how they stopped her. She
I
stopped
agree.
him in one.
I agree.
She was like, put on his mom's sweater and was like, Jason, stop. It's okay
It's
now.
mommy,
They're all
Jason."
dead.
And then,
it's
yeah.
mommy. He's like, oh.
No, that's
sweater-
what I didn't want to talk about weaknesses.
The sweater be stanky.
And he's also kind of,
He's what Mikey said.
what Mikey said.
what
yeah.
Mikey said.
He's also kind of what Mikey said. Yeah. He's got that. Whereas Michael Myers doesn't.
Right.
He's not. He.
I mean,
in the Halloween, I think it's 5, the Revenge of Michael Myers. You know his niece, the Jamie Lloyd.
Jamie Lloyd,
He
yeah.
finds out he has a niece, and she's like, Uncle, and she's like laying in a coffin. And he's like, you know, he's cool with it, and then
Yeah.
like she tricks him enough to get away. It's pretty much taken from a Friday the 13th kind of thing. He does the same movements, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But he has a thing for family too. Michael has a thing for family.
yeah.
Guess that's true. Well, Michael has a thing for family. He's killed him.
Killed
all.
him. Oh no! He
Right.
immediately was like snapped out of it. It was like, "Fuck you, bitch! I want to," you know. He's like starts stabbing. So
Best deaths. I want to talk about Leatherface real fast.
All right.
cool.
There was one Leatherface. I can't remember which one it was. Like they all run together. Just saying. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, it's hard. Anyways, there was one where he throws a dude on a meat hook and grabs his chainsaw and then just cuts right through him.
It's
and then
very,
the dude,
it's very, yeah.
and the dude's just like, oh,
Very
like a
visual.
Halloween
Was that
decoration.
was that the first remake?
No, it wasn't the first remake. It was like, it was one of the weird
Oh, okay.
prequel
So
sequels.
I think he does that in the first remake too.
Yeah. But
He,
that's-
hangs,
that's
he
my
definitely
favorite
hangs that
move.
dude on a
Well,
hook.
the first prequel,
like, on his
remember,
back, and he's
the dude's running through the sheets and he hits
Yeah,
his
yeah,
leg
yeah.
and just immediately leg's gone
yeah.
and then he hangs on the
chops
hook.
his leg off.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That meat hook.
yeah.
That meat hook's straight from the first one too. He
Oh,
picks
right.
that girl up and just
Yeah.
Yeah, that
sticks
was
her
like
there, and
that
then
was
she
the
watches
most-
him like cut her.
Friend.
That was
friend's
the
head
most
off,
like
cut him
gory part, and it didn't show no blood.
Yeah.
They didn't
The
show
first
it.
one, he's
No,
just like-
the most gory part is when he stabs the kid in the wheelchair. He plunges his chainsaw like right into him.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't really show a lot of gore, but
Right.
that's like probably the most brutal death from the first one.
Yeah, probably right.
Besides the dude getting hit in the head. That
the
was
head
fucked up.
thing because he was just twitching.
Yeah,
weird.
his legs all spasming.
Yeah.
Yeah. By far for me, the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the best.
Oh,
and
for
it,
sure.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
can't
For
be beat.
sure.
It's because it's more than just visuals. It's like a feeling.
It's like
It's a feeling,
Like,
yeah.
they
Whoa.
have like college courses on that movie because
Yeah.
it's so like there's like 6,000 edits and like Toby Hooper was like super OCD about it and just like
yeah.
you know
I
when
just
when
don't
it's
know-
like when the
Just don't know what happened to two.
the dinner the dinner scene, you know, when it's like zooming in our eye and it's
Yeah.
just cut.
Yeah.
Like he was just going crazy.
And I
with
like
it.
the screaming. I think is intentional at the end. Like it's so unnerving at the
Yeah.
end. It's like it lasts for 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes
Well,
is just
I
her
mean,
screaming.
Other
Like,
than the
screaming.
cook who was the older brother, the guy at the gas station.
yeah.
No one else did films. I mean, it's like, you know, they said that the dinner scene when she's tied up, you know, like that.
Yeah.
They said inside was like 120 degrees,
Oh yeah,
and it was
that was
super
a shit
uncomfortable,
show.
and it was like
It was a shit
everybody's
show,
just
yeah.
like, just fucked up from that
It
film.
was like
so.
it was filmed in like July in Texas.
Right, right.
Texas in July.
Next in July.
And they had like all the food that was laid on the table started to rot, and
yeah.
like
Yeah.
and they said people were getting sick and throwing up, and it was horrible.
It was bad.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
very,
it just
very-
adds to the scene.
Mikey, do you have a favorite death?
Very sincere reactions.
From the original Texas Chainsaw, it's definitely the hammer to the dude's
Yeah.
head. Just when he drops to the floor and just twitches that.
I just love how they
pretty
foreshadowed that
visceral.
with talking about the cattle.
Yeah.
Like they
Right.
foreshadowed that whole scene.
you the best, Grandpa.
Yeah, and it's the first.
don't-
It's the first death in the movie.
I don't remember it specifically, but from the remake, I just love the scene when he's got the one boyfriend's. He's wearing the one boyfriend's whole face.
Oh, right. What's his name? Kip.
That,
Hey,
that was
Kip.
so
I don't
fucking
remember his name.
badass. I love that part.
Good shit.
I don't think the remake was that bad. By the way,
Dude, it wasn't.
really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
It was
I
a lot
liked
of people
of
shit
it.
on it because it was like polished Hollywood, but
Yeah.
it was a good movie.
I
It
feel
was
like it-
good.
Yeah,
For the most part, pretty much kept to the heart of the original.
Well, and that's the thing I feel like about like horror remakes is everyone's like, oh, I'm shitting on it because it's too pretty, but I'm also gonna shit on it because you did it shot for shot just like I wanted it, but I didn't want it that way.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
That's like the thing I would say about all these Disney movies or whatever. It's like people would be like, "Oh, they changed too much," and then I watched The Lion King, which is like really accurate,
right.
And then everybody's like, "Oh, I didn't like it. It was too
close."
I guess.
I've
It's
already
like,
seen this movie.
What do you
What do
want,
you
people?
want? Well, you
it's
can't please
everything.
everyone.
It's everything. It's everything.
yeah. Well,
But,
and I speaking of remakes or reboots or whatever, like I love Rob Zombie's interpretation of Halloween.
Really.
Fucking love it.
I was gonna
It's
say
so
I was
fucking
gonna
good, dude.
disregard it this whole time.
Dude.
I liked the first one.
His
The
second
one was weird.
His second
Yeah.
one, maybe not so much. Super brutal deaths in the second one though. He grabs that hooker's face and just slams it in the glass.
Yeah.
Dead.
Well, dude, okay, Rob
And then
Zombie's
he looks at her. She's not dead yet. Bam, bam, bam.
Rob Zombie's awesome at that.
Not dead yet. Like that was a intense brutal. Scene.
I didn't want to disregard it, but I made it sound like I didn't like Rob Zombie's versions. I did. I
The
enjoyed
first
them,
one's
but I
awesome.
just wanted to take it out of this conversation. Like I don't feel like Rob Zombie's
Right.
movies fit here.
Right.
And-
not in this room. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Not in the safe space.
No,
Y'all,
this
y'all are
time.
talking about Jason Goes to Manhattan. Why?
It's part of the franchise, dude. It's part of the franchise.
Well, I guess they've never done
I'm trying to stay
They done
in
a
2
Friday
through
the-
4, Jason.
Yeah, they did.
They did one
did.
remake of Jason, and honestly, the remake of Friday the 13th was awesome to me because like the first like 20 minutes,
Cold Open was awesome. That's the best
oh
intro
my
of
god,
any
it was
movie
the best
ever.
intro. Like it was straight up like they.
I think I saw that one.
They
They're
throw
like
you
out camping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they throw you into
In the
the
woods.
camp, and then like every person of the group gets taken down slowly, and then it's just like Friday the 13th,
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
like
like,
title card.
that was just the fucking intro. Jesus.
Yeah, I did watch that one.
Yeah.
I did see that one.
The remake was not bad, and it's like they hit everything. That's
Okay,
The worst part about the movie is the first 15 minutes are the best. That's the worst part.
That's
about it.
it is the worst part about it.
So that's
Right.
that's
Alright.
the only problem.
So reboots are out. We're not.
I was trying to
reboots
keep
are
it. I mean, I'm not making the rules.
I'm just
here.
trying to
I'm
figure
not
out
making
what
it.
I'm just
I
trying to
was
figure
just
out
joking
what
because
the rules
like
are.
I don't know, like I like
Because we're
Rob
talking about
Zombie, but I don't.
Texas Chainsaw
I'm
Massacre
just trying.
reboots.
I had two versions of what I was going to talk about. One is their human form before they become supernatural, because you have to go into that
Yeah.
as when you start making 7, 8, 9 sequels. So you have to make them some supernatural. So I'm like trying to keep Jason human, Michael human, Leatherface human. So
Yeah,
that's me.
I just have something against Rob Zombie because the only thing is like I liked the Halloween part 1 better than part 2, but
Right.
I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. It was pretty awesome. But then I saw this long video that accidentally played on my YouTube because I watched something else, and then it played this one, and it showed interviews with Rob Zombie since the beginning of his career, and he was like, and everyone's thing was like, so you like film? Yeah, I like film. And like, oh, you ever gonna plan on making movies? Yeah, I'm actually, I'm gonna start doing that. And they're like, what if you were to pick one movie that's your favorite horror movie and you were to remake it, what would it be? And he was like, I don't believe in remakes. And he's like, listen, straight up, if I want to watch one of those movies, I'll go back and watch one of those movies because they're fucking perfect.
Yeah.
And then at all these interviews, it was like, I wouldn't remake a movie. I fucking think all these movies are perfect. Why would you ever fuck with them?
Right.
And then they were like, how much money is it going to take for you to do Halloween? And he was like, I'm doing Halloween, everyone.
And I think he did a great job, other than he's like, Rob Zombie has a weird hang up on like,
I love his style. I love it.
like sexual abuse stuff, and like I don't know, he just like he wants to throw it in everyone, which whatever. It's scary. It's real shit. It's real shit.
That is like, as far as young children turning into serial
No,
killers.
I got you.
That is a big trigger. Like
No, I got you.
sexual abuse. Like
I'm
that's
not gonna
Right.
say it's not real stuff, but I'm just like
it fits though.
Yeah.
It fits in the story.
his
Because
unnerving. It's
does
unnerving.
because why is Michael Myers at 6 years old killing people? There has to be a reason.
well, in the original Halloween, it just like that's how
Killing
it opens.
girls.
It's like
I know, but why
it's
is he
like
doing
throwing-
that?
No, I mean, yeah,
like
I got you.
if you think like,
No, dude, I feel you.
He's pretty into killing girls too, so you know what I mean.
But
Yeah.
like the second Halloween, dude, like Rob Zombie's, I was like,
It was out there.
why did you make this movie?
yeah,
like I
that
did
one
not
that
get
one
it.
I don't like as much.
Right.
But
I mean, was it better than probably like Halloween? I don't know.
3?
Halloween 4 or no, 4 was good.
It's better than
the
H2O.
Hey, let's talk about 3.
Or
It's better than
The
H2O
Curse
and
of Michael
Resurrection.
Myers, Paul Rudd's The Curse of Michael Myers.
The Curse of
I
Michael
mean,
Myers.
Busta Rhymes.
No,
Yeah.
it's better than H2O and Resurrection.
Yeah, though I'm not a big fan of those. When they try to make it super big budget,
Yeah.
like
It's better
Josh
than both of
Hartnett
those.
and all those,
Yeah.
I didn't.
It was just Scream with
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. No, thank you.
What about part 3? How come I don't think
Dude, I love part 3.
Part 3, you like part 3?
If you just
one without
if
Mike
you would have
Myers?
I've actually never seen that.
If you would have made a movie called Season of the Witch,
That's
no
what it
one
was.
no one would
Yeah.
shit on it as much.
Right.
But everybody wants Michael. It's a good movie. It's got Tom Atkins. He's in there being a badass. It's got some cool kills. It's got cool. I mean, the story's great.
I've never seen
It's a good movie. It's really a good movie. Just take Halloween out of it.
All right.
For real, it's good. It's good.
I've always kind of wanted to.
Really
It's
quick.
good.
on
It's about
that
a haunted
note,
mask.
I feel like it could have worked had Halloween 2 not happened. If they would have just made Halloween and then followed through with what John Carpenter wanted to do when he made 3,
Right.
And just make it like anthology movies that came out for not anthologies, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, that's what they wanted. Was,
yeah. So if they would have stuck with, if they wouldn't have, I think it would have worked had they not made Halloween 2 a direct sequel
To one.
to the
Right.
first one. Yeah.
Well, that's what they wanted. They wanted Halloween the franchise to be something different.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be based on just
Michael
Myers.
Myers, yeah.
So I mean, you're not
But
wrong.
he was so
But
like
Halloween 3, people loved it. Like, whoa, where the fuck is Captain Kurt?
I paid for fucking Mike Myers.
Yeah, I paid
bitch.
for the Michael Myers. So and like so they had to bring him back in 4, which is the return of Michael Myers. And then after that, it's
Mike
just
Myers.
it's Michael Myers, the revenge, the H2O, and then the
then he-
curse, or
and
the
then-
curse, and then H2O,
And then he made
and
Wayne's World.
then, yep, and then
Well-
Shrek. And then it's over after that.
all that being said, I'm not budging on Michael Myers one bit.
So you
I
think he
feel
would
that-
win
I
in
feel
a
that he
fight?
wins.
Just
I feel that he wins,
in just a
hands down.
one-on-one fight, Leatherface, a triple threat.
Yep,
Boom, boom, boom.
he wins.
How?
He wins.
He's got a little shitty butcher knife, and then
Weapons.
one dude
You
has
can get weapons. He kills people. Not
He
just
does.
a knife.
I know he had an axe.
He's-
We
he's-
didn't see. We've
He had a hot
we've
tub.
He's got
literally-
he's got strength. He's got intelligence. He's got the curse or whatever that keeps him
But-
alive forever. Like,
But we never see him actually return. They just imply that
him
he's
back.
still alive.
they never kill him. That's the thing.
Okay.
They kill Jason multiple times.
Yeah, and then
they never kill Michael Myers.
and then a supernatural presence brings him back to fucking life.
Jason just plays possum. That's the only.
I mean,
thing.
there was literally a fucking lightning rod that fucking brings him back to life.
I'm
and
no,
whatnot,
he,
like
yeah, he
Frankenstein.
dies.
I'm
He
still
can.
trying to keep it in the human realm.
He does
Like-
and can dies. Whereas Michael Myers, I don't believe. I
No.
could be wrong, but I don't believe he's ever died in the franchise.
You're probably right.
He gets hurt.
Anyway.
He gets hurt, but he's never died.
No,
I'm not budging.
Doc-
Jason can be killed.
he got fucking smashed with a machete in part 4, and then
Jason can be killed.
remember
Myers.
audience.
You're gonna get murdered by Michael Martin. That's me.
We're still skipping part 5. We're still skipping
I'm not
part
budging.
5
I'm not budging.
with old
Mikey's bored, guys.
Old Roy.
I just.
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
I'm just not a Thrasher fan. I never have been.
You love thrash metal, dude.
Thrash metal. You're talking
Did
about
I
Slayer?
say Thrasher?
I said Thrasher.
Slasher.
You're talking about Slayer? You're gonna bring
Whoops.
Slayer into this? So
My bad. No, I love
Slasher.
thrash metal.
yeah, I figured.
I'm not a slasher fan. I never really have been. It's never been my bag.
Agree
Like, I was
to
never big in.
disagree.
What would be your number one slasher film then?
Please say Slumber Party Massacre.
Scream 4.
I Scream 4. I mean, I guess if you consider,
Bro
I mean,
Party
do you
Massacre
consider
Dude, bro party.
It's Dude Bro
Like
Party
Freddy,
Massacre 3, by the way.
a slasher, then it's obviously the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Fucking Nightmare is a slasher. Freddy's a slasher.
Right.
But if I was gonna pick
Supernatural, though.
out of the 3, my favorite, I'm gonna have to go with Texas Chainsaw because I do really enjoy Texas Chainsaw Massacre like a lot.
Dude, that movie is just the original Texas Chainsaw itself is like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
So you-
great.
like I'll be honest.
Like
and
Toby
this is
Hooper's
gonna-
Toby Hooper's a good filmmaker.
people are probably gonna hate on me and be like, "Take his horror card away" or some bullshit.
No, dude.
I say, come fucking fight me. But
All right, so we got 2 for Jason, 1 for Mike, and 1 for
yeah.
Leatherface. So
All right.
there's
But
not much else we can
like I was through some of Halloween and even Friday the 13th, I was kind of bored.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. Actually, yeah. No, I wanted to defend it, but I was like, no, you're probably right.
I still enjoyed them. Like there was some stuff I was like,
Hey.
hell yeah, that was pretty cool. But
I got
was
an idea
bored.
that none of us can be bored. Best kills of the franchises. You want to start with
I already
Halloween?
did one.
Which one?
No,
The one where he just threw him on the hook and fucking
Well, yeah,
sawed him in half.
Leatherface. Let's do Halloween. Let's do Halloween.
Halloweeny.
Halloween best kills. Best kills
Halloween,
Halloween.
best kills. I think it's Halloween 2.
Right.
He they're in the hospital.
Oh yeah. That's
I
Halloween
think
too.
he drowns that girl in the scalding hot water,
Right.
and he's dunking her head and pulling it back up, dunking her
Keep
head and pulling it back up,
Keep going.
dunking her head and pulling it back up, and like every time he pulls her back up, her skin like
It's just
like
worse.
you
That
see
was
the
good
temperature
effects.
gauge like getting higher and higher, and then like her
Oh, yeah,
skin
'cause
is
in
melting
the,
off.
They show the meter. It's like danger.
Yeah.
danger, yeah.
And every time her like skin's melting off, and like every time he dunks her, like more and more skin is peeling off of her face.
That's my favorite Michael Myers look. I mean, I love the remake look of Mike, but H2 was like, because he had that weird slick back hair and the like, turtleneck almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. I loved H2.
But like I said, his like trademark kill is my favorite. Even though he does it, even though he does it in a lot of movies, it's just
I get you. I gotta feel that.
I don't know that I have a favorite
You don't
from
have a favorite
Halloween, really, because I only watched the first one. Because again, like I said, I'm not a huge slasher fan.
Was it the newer one where the like chick's in the bathroom and she's like, "Hello, hello," and then someone's standing there and she's like, "Who is that?" And then he like drops teeth.
Oh,
that's the 2018. She's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That looks super dope. And then he takes the dude's head and is like beating his head against the
that was what's fucked up. It's because he didn't kill, because they were like two podcasters or journalists, right? So he didn't even kill that guy. She's in there taking a leak, and he's like drops the mechanic's teeth over the stall, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And then he comes in, like the partner in the podcast. It's like Lori or whatever her name is. I don't remember this. It's not Lori, obviously. He's like, "Oh my god!" So he brings in a crowbar and hits Michael Myers with a crowbar, and he's like, "Bink! Oh fuck you, bitch!" So he's like slamming him against the wall, and this chick's like crawling under the stalls, and that dude's like bleeding. Like he fucked me up too bad, and he just chokes her, like just strangles her, and the guy's like, he has no option other than to watch his best friend die. And I was that's what's the most fucked up part.
He also likes to stomp people's heads in.
He does do the stomp.
There's a couple of brutal deaths where he stomps. He loves to do the stomp. Yeah, he will stomp people's heads in. I don't remember if it's 2 or 4, but there's one where he like it shows the dude, he's like trying to breathe, laying on the ground. Yeah, and he just steps on his face. And it's not a cut.
No,
it's like you see his boot to face.
They did it in the remake too. The doctor, the new Loomis.
Yeah, but that one, his head like
he
explodes.
They made spaghetti out of that dude.
It's gross, guys.
Yeah.
All right, with Friday the 13th, since obviously I only watched the second one, because I figured since we were doing Jason, I just skipped the 2.
It's weird with that franchise though, because like, even though the first and the second one were pretty good, they got better to me, honestly. Like,
no,
he was saying,
in 3D, there were some fun kills in 3D. Honestly, when he like squishes that dude's head till his eye pops out. He like Gregor Clegane's that dude. Like, squishes his head, his eye pops out. He shoots that girl in the eye with the harpoon.
Right? Wasn't there the one where the dude's in the fucking porta potty and he's like, "Hello? Hello?"
Was that 3?
He fucking got stabbed through that shit.
Oh yeah, and like he double.
He's like, potty.
"Quit fucking with me! Quit fucking around!"
Those two, like the two camp counselors, are having sex upstairs, and he like stabs them through the bed.
Through the bed.
Through both of them.
Classic.
That's one of the. Like,
I'm
you
torn between.
That's a double kill. That's a rare double kill.
Between that one, and I don't know why I liked when he kills that old man. Pretty early on.
Oh, Ralph! He fucking killed Crazy Ralph. Yeah, because
he hears like a rock or something, and he turns around, and then you just see these 2 hands come out, and like he chokes him. I was like, that was pretty sick.
Yeah, I felt bad for fucking Ralph. Ralph was just trying to fucking like tell people, "Hey, man."
I've seen
around.
like
this
clips, and bits and pieces of the rest of them. So like, obviously, like the head punching is pretty dope,
right?
And when he bashes that bitch in the sleeping bag up against the tree was pretty fucking sick.
That bitch.
Oh,
let's talk about fucking
the guy in the wheelchair.
And
then when he's like, and he's downstairs.
Oh yeah.
That's a cool shot, dude.
The face,
I felt bad because I was like, home dude's gonna get laid, and then he killed him. I was like, God damn it!
He was on third base.
Dude,
what about Freddy versus Jason?
I'm not. I don't want to talk about Freddy versus Jason.
That had one of the best Jason kills. The fucking bed. The dude falls asleep after banging that chick.
Right.
She goes to the shower.
Hey, babe, told you not to kiss me after smoking menthols.
yeah. He's face down in the bed, and Jason just goes, and then he folds the bed. And the dude's just like, I was like, that reminded me of fucking Itchy and Scratchy.
I have one more for Jason, and it's from Jason X.
Oh,
when
come
Kyle
on.
freezes that bitch's face and then smashes it was
I
fucking rad.
I had
stole that shit from
that written down
Sub-Zero.
as one of my best.
Jason X is pretty fucking dope, dude.
Dude, that
Never
was a
seen
fun movie. I don't know why I got shit on so much.
I hated that movie for some reason. I just was like,
Dude,
come
you
on,
gotta
dude.
give it. Wait, take.
They stole Sub-Zero's fatality.
Just watch it for what it is. But I want to talk about my favorite
Fatality.
Michael Myers. My favorite Michael Myers kills is I think in part 5 was the revenge, because in part 4 it was like a weird. Part 4 he comes back, the return of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And then he's got that weird niece who's like at the end of the movie she's like kills her sister, but then it turns out she really doesn't. She's having a weird thing.
It was like a...
So he comes back in part 5 to kill his niece. Well, he doesn't accomplish that mission until part 6, though. The Curse of Michael Myers with featuring Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
So different actress comes back, Jamie Lloyd, and he's like, just at the beginning of the fucking movie, he's like, I'm gonna stick you on this fucking like farm equipment, like hay thing. And it's like, and then he's like flips it on. And it's like she's like stabbed. Fucking through the chest, and he's like, boop, I'm gonna flip it on. It's like, rah, 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 and just chops her to bits. And then I was gonna say also with the hot tub kill,
Yeah.
but remake the jack-o'-lantern when he gets the cops. Remember the new one when he goes up there and he turns that cop's face into a fucking jack-o'-lantern. Was pretty sweet. And they walk outside. They're like trying to check on her husband dies.
I remember that.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
But Jamie Lloyd's death in part 6 was probably my favorite Michael Myers. Jason wise, we'll always go back to Sleeping Bag. Gotta put into Sleeping Bag part 7.
Sleeping bag.
Cuts the fucking tent.
Sleeping bag.
Cuts the fucking tent open while they're just about. I mean, god damn it! You're just about to fucking bang, and he's like dragging her out, and she's like.
Isn't there one where he like has like hedge trimmers and he
That's
sticks in
part
that dude's
2.
eyes and then like
Yep, part 2.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, obviously, the reason we pent these guys up against each other are very obvious. Obvious reasons. They're all Slipknot members.
obvious.
They're all ex.
They're all
They're all
ex-members of
Slipknot members, and things aren't going well. With those guys that got kicked out. You know what I'm saying?
Just bad blood,
Bad blood.
bad blood. You know how it goes.
So-
Years on the road just takes.
But
a
I
toll
guess
on you.
I guess Mike Myers wins this one, right? Didn't you both
No,
say? Or
if
no,
it's a
Jason wins because we.
Yeah.
We
Both,
said Jason.
yeah.
But
if it's a
one thing, though,
Democratic,
best kill though. Best kill out of overall, in my opinion. There was a prequel made to the remake of Texas Chainsaw, where Arlie Army. It's weird. I'm sorry.
Convoluted.
Just
mess.
doing the
It's
math.
not very
I don't
fucking
know.
convoluted. But when they're like, and for some reason, Leatherface's name is Tommy in this movie. I've seen his name Tommy, Jedediah, all weird shit. And his name's Tommy in this one. Arlie Army's like, fuck him up. And the biker, you remember that biker gang? There was like a weird biker gang, and they kidnapped the girl. The guy comes back, and he's like, where's the girl? He has Arlie Army at gunpoint. And Leatherface is down in his basement doing whatever weird shit Leatherface does.
His little models.
Yeah. And he can hear the commotion upstairs, so he goes up there. There's a scuffle. Leatherface, or the biker dude, almost has the upper hand because he's got Army. He's like, where's the girl? She's like, she's right fucking there. And he's like, that's not her. He's like, oh, you don't want to see your girl, man. Because like it was a fucked up, mutilated person. And so there's a scuffle. Leatherface comes in, hits the dude. Chainsaw falls down. The dude falls like belly on the chainsaw. Arlie Army jumps on there because he's still the sheriff or whatever. Jumps on the dude. He's like, get this some bitch started. So he's like, Leatherface is cranking this chainsaw, which seems like forever. And he starts it. And the dude, it's on the dude's stomach. Starting, he goes, and just fucking revs it and cuts through the guy. That's the best kill of the whole fucking franchise. Cheesiest movie, though. Worst movie, best kill.
fair.
Right.
So,
We're probably gonna edit that one out. I'm just kidding.
Very long-winded. Very long-winded.
I think I got that out.
Very long-winded. Very long-winded.
So if it's put to a vote, Jason wins.
Yeah.
Jason.
Okay, I'm fair. I'm fine with that. No, that's fair. I'm fine with that.
It's fine.
That's fine.
It's,
It's
this
cool.
Is,
It's
it's all
cool.
fine. This is all good.
Thank
It's
you.
all fine.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you.
All right.
No,
Well,
that's fine.
we should
Mikey,
probably-
Mikey, what you just what?
He's-
Who wins? Who wins, Mikey?
He said
Man, I
Leatherface.
don't fucking care. I'm not a slasher fan
care.
anyway. So
Just I
whatever.
want to hear your vote. Your
No, he voted for
your
Leatherface.
voice matters.
Yeah, I'm going for Leatherface.
That's cool.
Okay,
I mean, you're
well,
wrong.
You guys lose.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
He's
I feel
really-
like we are picking our like characters for an RPG.
I mean, Jason's
game.
my favorite.
Right.
But
We are.
I
That's
still,
true.
like, I
wants
tried
proof.
to, I tried to figure out like a way. Is like, am I right? I've obviously, I'm gonna prove myself right.
I don't think there's. I don't.
Am I right here? Am I making the right choice?
I mean,
I
if
love
this
Michael.
was
I love Michael.
Like,
but-
if this was an RPG card game, we'd all have the similar moves. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
dude.
Like, there would be like,
They're very
I
similar.
have the resurrection card, and you'd be like, well, I have the we never saw him die card.
Yeah, it's fine.
and then Mikey would be like, well,
He's
yeah?
got retard strength.
No, no.
yeah, it's what Mikey said. He's got that strength that Mikey said people
Yeah.
have.
Actually, you know, the card Leatherface would have would be like reboot again. They'd be like, guess he's alive again.
Oh, he's back. Right.
But yeah, okay, that was a good episode, guys. You know,
I loved it.
let's give ourselves a round of applause.
I like it.
That was very fun. Thank you.
Love it.
All right, guys.
Like,
what do you-
comment, subscribe.
Yeah, like us up. Tell you know who you should tell about our show. You should
would that be,
tell
Mike?
your mom because because maybe like she'll stop texting me if she's listening to my voice.
Oh, she's still
You know,
texting you, man?
You were probably conceived
great.
at a drive-through when she was watching one of these movies.
That's probably true. That is probably true.
Also, tell us who you think would win.
yeah, tell us who
And-
you think would win. Who's got the best mask?
Tell Mikey to fucking calm down. You know? Like, he's super aggressive.
No, we
all the
love
time.
him. We love him.
Well,
angry.
actually, don't, because, like,
Also, who's your favorite X?
I ain't
member?
fucking changing. Fuck the X-Men.
fuck the X-Men.
Ow!
Why are you fucking violence physically?
Jesus.
Don't fucking talk shit about my X-Men.
I mean, get out of my head.
Not in my house.
You fucking nerd.
Not in my house.
All right, guys, leave us a comment and tell your mom about us, whatever you want. All right. Well, see you later, nerds.
Bye, nerds. Oh, hey, you didn't do the make art, not fart.
Oh, yeah!